Welcome to Late Night Creations. My name is Kendra and I'm so glad you're here because today I have some awesome fall dupes from some websites that had some stuff way overpriced. We can make it for cheaper. It's the 5 Under 5 challenge today. So I hope you enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment. Let's get crafting. For this first dupe, I knew I wanted to make something similar to these pumpkins, and they were a little high even on Etsy. So I had this styrofoam pumpkin that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I cut the center of that where the little stem was. I cut it out. I painted it white with some white chalk paint. You can see I got it all over my hands because it was messy. I'm in the craft cottage, so I don't have running water out here yet. So I am not able to wash my hands. So just, I have, you know, wet wipes, baby wipes, but it doesn't really cut it when you're trying to get paint off your hands. So just bear with me until I get water out here. So I had this bag of leftover macrame yarn from my Boho baby shower that I did. And it's just scraps, just scrap pieces that most people probably would have thrown in the trash, but not me. So I am going to use them on this pumpkin. I'm just wrapping them around, and I kind of get a little system going by the end because that's how I do it. But I just start, and I don't even care that they go all the way around because I like it a little ragged. I want it to look a little boho-ish, a little kind of rustic. So here I'm showing you that I'm using a roll of masking tape to sit it on so it doesn't roll around all over me. So by the end, I got to where on that middle piece, so I would put a piece on the indented part, and then on that little pie piece, triangular piece, I would just put a lot of hot glue, and then I would just fill it up right here with those strands. And then I would go down the side and glue them, pressing them into the piece before it. You're going to see what I'm talking about. And I mean, do it however you like to do it, whatever works for you. And then if it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, that's okay because we're going to fill it in. Excuse me. And so I'll do this one on this side. And then just press it up next to the piece before it. Now, I think I'm going to show you. Okay, so right here where it gets, you know, small, I'm just going to take a piece, and I kind of unraveled some ends because I want a few of those little frayed ends to kind of show. And so where the pieces didn't meet, that's okay. Just stick another piece in there and let that frayed end show a little bit. See how on the ends there it does show? And then I just trimmed it a little bit, and you'll see at the end how I kind of pull it all up so I have some of those little frayed ends kind of showing all over the pumpkin. So I just glue it down, glue it in there. Some of it I didn't want showing, some of it I did. So I'm kind of pulling it all up and then just trimming some of it off, some of it at an angle, leaving a little bit of it because I want it to look a little bit ragged. I don't want it to be smooth like the yarn one. So this may not be a true dupe, but you know, it's one of those kind of sort of a yarn pumpkin. So now I'm kind of getting all those frayed edges out so I can see if I need to trim some of it or if I like it to as frayed as they're going to look, and that's what I do. So now I'm taking this other twine, white twine or ivory colored twine, I'm wrapping around to see if I like it, and I do. So I'm going to do it where the indentions would be, just to give it that extra little layer of dimension. And I did wrap it all the way around on this one, so I just did it one time around there, then I found the next place that there should be an indention and wrapped it all the way around, and I just kept doing that all the way around until I got it all the way around the pumpkin. And this turned, I mean, you can't really see it that much, but you can tell that it's on there. So this is how it looks. See, you can see it on there. I just think it gives it another layer. Okay, so I bought these little round wooden plaques from Hobby Lobby. They came several in a package. They end up being, I'm thinking they were like maybe 75 cents a piece after the 40% off or 50% off sale that I'm sure I got them on because I don't pay full price for anything at Hobby Lobby. And so I'm just taking the antique wax by Waverly and giving it just a sloppy coat. And then put a bunch of hot glue right in the middle. And just keep squeezing that hot glue out there. Get a bunch. And then I tried to kind of make it run around a little bit, but it was pretty thick. It didn't really want to go anywhere. And yeah, so this DIY ended up, the best I could figure was about $2.25. The pumpkin was $1.25. The little wood round was about 75 cents. The yarn, this little twig, this little branch came out of my yard. I just cut it. I'm going to poke it down there in the center with some hot glue. And these leaves were going to be they were just off of a pick. So that and the yarn were almost trash. So there we go. There's your finished product. So this video is part of the 5 Under 5 DIY challenge hosted every month by Emily from Farm Charm Chic and Missy from Crafty Cove DIY. And this month's guest host is Christine from DIY Craftaholic. These are amazing creators. I will link their channels in the description box below, as well as the playlist with all the other amazing creators. Okay, my next, I'm going to call this my primitive pumpkins. So this cost me nearly nothing to make. So this was part of the swing set / fort that the wind and rain destroyed in our backyard. We had it in the backyard for the kids to play on, the grandkids, and the wind destroyed it, and my husband was going to throw it away, and I said, no, we have to keep that wood. So it's been in our shop, and I've just steadily been using that wood, and so these round pieces were part of the structure. And so I just cut these pieces down, and I'm just giving it, I'm mainly just sanding this down to clean it off a little bit. I'm not even trying to get anything smooth. I'm just cleaning off a little bit of that dirt and grime. And then I'm going to use some more of that branch that I cut off and just glue it right to the top. And I have some Spanish moss and some leaves. And I'm just taking some, this is one of my favorite things to do, that antique wax by Waverly, and just rub it all over these faux leaves from Dollar Tree. And it just kind of stains it up and makes it look a little more real and dirty, like it's been outside. Then I'm going to take the Spanish moss and just glue it around that little stem, our faux stem there, and then just stick a little leaf there. And then I have that little bag of, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself in my description here. Okay, then I just cut that leaf because it was a little bit too big. And so, you get a pack of these leaves for $1.25. And so I'm not even using a whole leaf. So I don't even know, that's just pennies there, a few cents. And then there's this bag of little scented pine cones and pumpkins that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to use one little pine cone out of there. That whole bag was $1.25. So I'm just going to use one little pine cone out of there. So whatever that leaf and the pine cone cost me, and that little bit of Spanish moss is what this cost me, just pennies. So I think I made 2 of them, and I think they turned out amazing. Let me know what you think about these DIYs. Okay, next was this little cutting board. So I found this one at Target and in the little, what is it called, the dollar spot in front, and it was super cute as is. But I knew that I could make some cute little tiered tray decor pieces, so I painted it black. And yeah, I intended to leave the little, like this right here. If you do it like that, you can leave those little, make it look slatted where the inside there is black. But yeah, I didn't do that because I wasn't thinking when I started painting it white. So here I go, sanding it. And then I decided I could take that sandpaper edge and sand down inside those little crevices and make it dark. Then I just drew a pumpkin on a little piece of thin cardboard. That cardboard came out of those calendars, those Dollar Tree calendars. And I'm just painting me a little pumpkin on there. Cut it out, paint it. And then this is a stem from, I think it came off of that cotton from Dollar Tree. Any kind of little stem, any kind, you can wad up a little piece of scrapbook paper. I'm going to put a little black and white gingham bow. I'm going to glue my little pumpkin on there, glue the little stem on there, and it's done. Yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Sometimes it's hard when you get to watching a video and then you forget to give it a thumbs up, but go ahead and click that thumbs up. Look how cute this is. So simple. Next is another little mini cutting board. Now, I got my mini cutting boards at Aldi, and they had them on clearance. 4 in a pack, and this was the smaller one. There were 2 small ones, 2 large ones, and they were on clearance. I think I got some for $2.99, some for $4.49. We're going to pretend this was the higher priced ones just for grins and giggles. And then that little leaf was a part of a pack of those leaves, those laser cut leaves from Dollar Tree. And this was some scrap vinyl I had. I don't even know if I can even say it was just pennies to cut that out. And I just cut out, thankful you could do it with a paint marker. You could do it with some scrapbook paper and Mod Podge it on. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this jute rope that I had left over from something. I think it came off of something or was sent to me with something. It was just a scrap piece I had. And I'm just going to tie a knot in the end. And it's done. That's all there is to this. Simple, easy peasy, so cute. Looks just like the picture. In fact, I think I like mine better than the picture. Let me know what you think. Next, this is a combination of these two things I found. I wanted a personalized cutting board, and I wanted it the shape of a pumpkin. And so I took this pumpkin from Dollar Tree. I traced it on my 1x8. Now, I figured out how much this 1x8 pumpkin cost, and it was $1.33. That's how much that 1x8 pumpkin cost me. And then I picked up this cork. This is cork, and it's sticky on the back, and I got it at Dollar Tree. And so it was $1.25, and I'm going to use 1 sheet of it. So I traced it, and it didn't go all the way to the top, but that's okay because we can piece it together, and nobody's going to be the wiser unless they watch this video. And so I'm just going to cut it out, and then I'm going to peel the sticky off, and I'm going to stick it to the back. I had tried to trace some stuff on the back of it. I thought I was going to cut some holes in it and make a trivet, but I changed my mind. So you may see that on there as I'm sticking this down. Now there's a little place at the top that it didn't reach, but that's okay. And it didn't go all the way to the edges, but that's okay. This is the back side, and if you want to use it as a trivet and you want to use the cork side as the hot plate, it's okay. Nothing's going to go over there and touch those little sides. So we're going to put this on like this. We're going to flip it over and then get it on there. We're going to trace it, and I didn't show you myself tracing it. Well, I guess I did. I thought I had my head in the camera. Anyway, cut it out and then peel it off and stick it down. And if you put it really, really close and then just rub it into the other one, you can't even tell. You can't even tell that it's pieced together. Just keep rubbing it like that, pushing it down and rubbing it, and you can't even tell. And then I did go back around. The X-Acto knife does not cut it good. I think I ended up going back with my tiny little detail scissors because the X-Acto knife kind of ripped it up. So don't do as I do as I say. Use those tiny little craft knives. See, I ended up putting some hot glue on there and sticking that back on there. And you couldn't tell that it had come off. That cork is very forgiving because of all that random pattern that's on there. But yeah, don't cut it with the X-Acto knife. Use those little teeny tiny detail scissors and it works good. Okay. Now we're going to, I guess I'm going to show you that I'm cleaning up my space. I don't know why I didn't edit that out, but just so you know that I clean up. Okay, so here I go. I'm showing you that, yeah, the scissors work much better. And you just keep snipping at it and it'll work good. Okay, yeah, I've got some glue there I'm going to get off. Okay, so then I made a stencil with, you can get stencils anywhere if you don't have a Cricut. And I made a stencil with a design I wanted. And then there is this what is it called? Wood burning etching pen. I'll leave it linked in the description box below. And you just write it on here. Now, I'm going to tell you that I think I used a little too much. I kept going over it and thinking that it needed to be really wet, but I don't think it does need to be. I think you just need to make sure that you cover the entire area. I don't think that it has, see how wet? You can see that I got mine super wet. I think that's why mine kind of bled into it. So I'm peeling all of this off now, and I don't show you all of that because it's just tedious. Okay, so when I peel it off, it's nice, crisp, clean edges. See how crisp they are? It's when I go to put the heat gun on it that it starts to bleed into the grain of the wood. So I'm using it on low with my heat gun. And I'm going to get it up here close so you can see just the heat of that. Now I have sped this up so that it, you don't have to sit here and watch it forever. But you can see as I start to put that heat to it, how it starts to bleed out into the grain of the wood. It doesn't look bad. I think it's fine. But yeah, so when I let that cool off, then I get out this wax. It's a natural wood. It's by Minwax, and it's called Natural Wood. And so all it does is bring out the beautiful wood grain of the natural wood. So I love this stain. It is one of my favorites. And so I'm just gonna put a good coat on there. Be sure you're in a very well ventilated area. I had fans going, the door open, the windows open, and I didn't use very much of it. So yeah, just make sure, wear gloves, have it ventilated. Okay, so I'm gonna wait till this dries, and then we're going to put some finishing paste. I love this finishing paste. I've had it for years. You can see there's still a little bit left in the bottom. Doesn't take very much of it. I just did order some DIY clear wax. I cannot wait to get it. I ordered it from Upcycle by Brie. Can't wait to get it. Waiting for it. Maybe it'll be here when I get back from vacation, hopefully. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a good coat. Sometimes I let it dry before I buff. Sometimes I buff it right away. Sometimes I put 2 coats on depending on what we're doing. This is for decoration purposes, so we don't really have to worry about that. But you can use the backside for a trivet, for a hot plate if you want, with the cork. So let me know what you think. I just put a little piece of jute twine on top for decoration. And here are all my finished products for today. 5 products, each one well under $5. And I think they all turned out as expected. And don't forget to check out the description box below. And if you're not real sure where to find it, it's that little arrow, the little half arrow down there below the video. Just click on that and there's all kinds of good stuff. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you enjoyed these dupes and that you are inspired to create something. And remember to be still and know that He is God.